Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, today we want to take a little bit of time talking about this is how the mobile carriers get you. This is an interesting story. So my Nexus 5X broke. It had an issue with the digitizer. I dropped it, and the digitizer died. The glass was just fine, but well, that sucks. So now it's just a matter of let's get a phone on there while I decide what phone do I want to do. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy the parts and repair that one. So that's kind of the plan, the ultimate goal. We'll see if it happens to work. So what ended up occurring here, now if you're unaware, Verizon is starting to go through a change where they're phasing out the 3G phones altogether. But they're not completely phased out. They're starting to slowly get to us, and they've gotten to the point where most people are so connected to their phone that you cannot do without it. And this is where they get you. You see, if you follow my channel, you know that I am not that connected. My phone, basically, I make phone calls with it. I do the occasional text message, and I do a couple tiny internet things here and there, but I do not check bank accounts. I don't do anything with real apps. Really, my phone is a communication tool, and that's about it. So what ends up happening is when I wanted to go in and say, okay, well, that died. Let's get something else on the account for the purpose of being able to keep the communication. So I actually have a couple 3G phones laying around. One of these is the Samsung Alias 2, which is probably the best phone that you'd ever have. It has this dual flip system, and even the keyboard itself is actually like that liquid paper type display. You can kind of see that if it focuses there or not. There it goes. All right, so you can kind of see it's like a liquid paper type feel. And that's a very nice phone. Now, I also have a Convoy as well, which are both really good phones for what they were at the time. Now, the fact of the matter is, yeah, technology moves. I bought this phone a decade ago. And the way technology moves, I'm not too surprised that a phone from a decade old is being phased out. That doesn't bother me. What does bother me is how they're attempting to get everybody so tied into their networks. And so here's what ended up happening. When I called up, they could not put this phone on the network. They're like, well, that phone's no longer compatible. So I'm like, all right, let's go to the Verizon store. So I got up earlier than I would have liked to, skipped some things that I would have liked to do instead, and I drove all the way over to the Verizon store, which is a good ways away from me. And so I went over there, and I brought this, and I brought the Convoy. And they're like, oh no, this type of phone is phased out. We can't put this on your account. There's no way. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? Now, I am a person that, for me, not having a phone for a couple of days, don't care. Don't care. It means I might not be able to make a couple of phone calls. Some people that are calling or texting or whatever else may not get a reply for a couple of days. That's okay. Anybody who really knows that knows how to find me either way. In other means as well. But for the average person, they've got to have that phone right now, and that is where they get you. So if you are tied in, if you have used your phone to verify everything, you have no choice than not only pay whatever they want you to pay, but they also have the ability to sit down and force you into their backup systems, force you into their insurance plans, all these types of things. And so when I went in, I was like, well, I would like to have a backup phone on the account at some point in time. So let's go ahead and look at just buying something that's going to be compatible for a while. And this is where we get the interesting rub. And this is where in negotiation, you got to have the walk away power. Because I went in and I'm like, well, let's just buy a basic flip phone to have on the account. Now, mind you, I am going from a Nexus 5X, a smartphone, to a basic flip phone on the account. And I'm paying full retail cash for that flip phone so I can put that phone on the account. You know that Verizon wanted to charge me a $40 upgrade fee to upgrade my phone from a smartphone to a flip phone. I was like, not happening, Bubba. Say, can you talk that price down? Waive it. Get rid of it. I am paying cash up front for this device. I am walking out of here with you not having any claim on this device whatsoever because I'm going to drop cash on it. Nope. This is a downgrade. This is even an upgrade. Nope. This is what Verizon and other companies are doing. And so the average person has to have that phone. And so suck it up. You're paying it. You're paying it. So they then wanted to say, well, let's see if we can get you in the business account, right? Then they've been pushing the business account every stinking time I go into Verizon, I'm like, let's get the business account. Now, the business accounts apparently have changed. Now they seem to be a little okay. Basically, it means that all those activation fees or upgrade fees are all waived, and apparently there's an 8% discount. They wanted more information than I wanted to give them, and actually, if I had with me my LLC incorporation papers, which has my street address for the purpose of verifying the corporation, we probably would have been able to do that. But then it's like, I really don't want this tied in. Is it worth an 8% discount on the Verizon account? Maybe. Part of me wonders, am I not paying too much, being that I use half a gig of data in any given month? Should I look at experimenting with some of these other systems? And so that's what I might end up doing. I might end up buying, once I get the Nexus saved up, fixed up, back on the account for my primary account, I might actually buy another smartphone that I can put Lineage on as my backup, and then use that phone and try a few different things. Like there's Ting.com, a friend of mine uses Republic. There's a few other ones out there like that. There's Cricket we have in town. Now there's some limitations with some of these accounts, why I don't really want to use some of these, which my current phone works well, but I want to experiment with those models and the other things that I'm using my phone for. I kind of want to see, what can I do? Can I bring that bill down more, which I might actually be able to do. That's a good possibility. But here's the thing. What I decided, since I am not tied to that phone, since I don't have any accounts that I have to get into, I had walkaway power. And that's what you need in negotiation. I said, can you negotiate this down? No. All right. I said, you know what? We've tried. I appreciate your help. But the fact that I'm going to drop full cash on a phone and you still want to pay a $40 upgrade fee to go from a smartphone down to a dumb phone, I said, that is unacceptable. I said, you know what? If I need a temporary phone, I'm going to go to Walmart and buy a flip phone from Walmart and throw on a little, 1 month plan, minute plan on there, and probably end up walking out of Walmart spending only the $40 or less to have a phone that works functionally right now. And so that's what I did. I had the walkaway power to not spend any money at all this. So meanwhile, in another part of town, or in another part of Verizon's craziness, I had attempted to put this phone on the account twice last night, and you dial the activation numbers, it's not able to activate the phone because this phone, it's being phased out, of course. It's all phased out. All these things are leaving. Well, I received another email, which I thought was actually related to the business account, because the business account, they kind of wanted me to send in tax returns to them to prove I have a business. And I was like, no, Verizon's not getting my tax returns. I'm sorry. You, literally the guy in charge of running the business accounts, pulled up my LLC, was able to pull it up from the public records. You don't need, at that point in time, you do not need my tax returns to verify that I own the business. Ain't happening. And so I'm like, you know what? Whatever. So I get this email in the box, and I thought it was related to that. So I'm like, let's go ahead and call the number. So, of course, I had, my businesses are connected to Google Voice. It's one of the few things I use Google services for. That way, spammers and scammers can leave me all the Google messages all they want, and the real humans get forwarded on to me. And so, since I have the VoIP system set up, let's go ahead and set that up. And I made the phone calls from my VoIP inside of Google Voice, and I called them up, and it turns out that that was actually related to attempting to attach this phone onto the account. And where that actually ended me is the core customer service, which is the more advanced customer service. And I was telling the guy the whole story. I'm like, guys, is this just kind of irritating me? All these kinds of things. I like all these things closed out, all these different things. I said, well, I'm just going to fix my phone through that. He says, well, you had that 3G phone. I said, yeah. He says, I'm one of the few people that can actually activate that on your account. I'm like, oh, really? So we give him the number, read him back the MEE number, the MEID number on the phone, and lo and behold, guess what? I have my 3G phone on my account right now. So trying to activate it twice last night, nothing. I called them this morning. They told me customer service, no, they can't activate this phone. I take the phone to the Verizon store. They can't activate the phone, but the core customer support can activate your 3G phone. So I just wasted a whole lot of my day where a phone call with the core customer service team at Verizon could have done the task. That's kind of crazy. So what's going on here? Well, they have taken the old phones off their network and they're forcing you to pay out of desperation. Now, when they made the 2G to 3G switch, people that were on 2G switching up to 3G actually got a free basic phone. So, in fact, I don't think this one I paid for because this was actually the first business phone I had when I started my web design business a decade ago. My Convoy was an upgrade from the old 2G phone up into the 3G phone, and that one was free. Because when they went from the 2G, phased that out into the pure 3G, people got a free phone. He said, and I asked him a lot of questions in preparation of this video, and he said he's unaware if they're actually going to be doing that this time. Most likely they're not, because they don't have the contracts anymore. Where they get you now is tying it in, paying cash for your phone, and then charging an extra huge massive fee on top of it, which frankly I think is a scam. Basically would turn into a 40, a 20, or 40% tax. The basic flip phone I was looking at buying today was $100. Like, here's my $100 in cash to take the smartphone off my account and put a dumb phone on the account, and you want to charge me a $40 upgrade fee? Yeah, I got a favorite finger here. Guess which one it happens to be, Verizon. And so, no, I'm not doing any of that. So, I had the walkaway power. Fortunately, it worked out nicely, perfectly in my favor. In fact, I even thought, why don't we go down to Walmart? Then I'm like, you know what? I ordered the parts with expedited shipping. I should have that Nexus phone back up and running before the end of the week for sure. And it's, what is it, Tuesday when I'm recording this. So it'll be up here pretty soon. And so I'm like, let's just go home, not worry about it. I'm going to let the core few people know the phone's dead. Reach out to me on my Google Voice numbers if you need anything. And I was like, okay. Which ended up just being perfect because I get home, I check the email, I got that thing that says call here. That's core customer service, and that guy's able to activate my 3G phone again. So I can't remember if I've talked about this before, but I kind of knew that they were phasing 3G out by the end of the year. And so I asked him some questions since I had a guy at Core on the Core customer service. So I asked him a couple questions. First is, when are the 3G phones phased out entirely? So the basic answers that they have right now is by the end of January 2020, you can no longer activate a 3G phone on the account. So if you have a 3G phone on your Verizon account and you want to activate your phone, do it before January. But you have to get into the core customer service. The basic customer service, *611, all those basic guys will not be able to do it. They will tell you they cannot be activated. You got to get to the executive or the core customer support when you can activate the phones there. But by the end of 2020, they will simply drop off. So the 3G phones will stop working by the end of 2020, so you have to have a 4G or higher compatible phone by the end of 2020. And most likely, you will not have any upgrade credits, of course. And this is the hilarious part regarding this upgrade fee. My account literally says eligible for upgrade inside of my device, and it has said so for a long time. So I don't know how I'm eligible to pay a $40 fee out of pocket after dropping cash on your phone. Verizon, y'all got some problems in your head. You better figure these out. So that's kind of the Verizon story for now. But the take home here too is one of the reasons I stick with Verizon is they do have customer service. Now you do have to get up into the core team to get the most competent customer service, but still I have to give them kudos on the customer service. They wanted information on the business accounts that I didn't really want to give them. That's okay. I understand them wanting some of the tax documents to verify because the publishing LLC has only been in existence for 6 months. That doesn't bother me too badly. And if it was something like if I paid hundreds of dollars for Verizon accounts, it would probably be worth it to get the 8% discount. But my total Verizon bill right now is $62. We're talking about making, saving less than $5 in any given month. I'm not going to give Verizon more information from that, especially since I'm kind of looking around at other options to see if there's better ways I can run my stuff as there is. And by the way, for those that will suggest it, I've looked into the Republic, I've looked into Ting, I've looked into Cricket. One of the limitations you have with a lot of these is you cannot hotspot off of your phone, at least not with a good quality of data. When I have my Nexus working and I share my phone data on my hotspot, I get, I can push at times 80 Mbps off of that phone sharing the hotspot, which is perfectly fine. With Cricket, the only way you can share the hotspot data is to buy one of their approved phones from them, and even then it caps it at 3G speeds, which is significantly slower. That's the last time I checked, which was about a year and a half ago. So that might have improved by then. But for the most part, you get the prepaid phones, you might get a little bit better, but I lose that ability of doing the hotspot. So one of the tests I want to do is to see if I can get a prepaid or a pay monthly low data with 4G hotspot. If I could get one of those, it is worth flipping down to a dumb phone at times. So there's some plans I have in the works. Let me know, though, the things that I should do, because I would like to buy an extra good, decent phone and then share that around with a variety of different plans to see which ones I like better. And that would be something I try over the course of the next several months. Let me know the plans that I should try. I'm going to look at Ting. I'm going to look, I might look at Republic again. I might look at Cricket again, but let me know the other ones I should look at as well to see what other plans might be out there that I can use. Of course, the phone, I'm going to have to get a phone that works with Lineage. I know Quint told me the Essential phone's good. I hate that notch, though. No, I don't want a notch. I might just do a Pixel 1 as an upgrade to the Nexus. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. What phone should I get that I can put Lineage on? What prepaid plans can I try going forward? So those are kind of my thoughts, my fun Verizon story. It kind of worked out okay, and I'll have the Nexus hopefully back up within the next couple of days. I'll let you guys know how all that fun stuff works. But let me know your thoughts on all this fun nightmare in the comments down below.